Hello, welcome back. So today I have bought some more ads. Basically things that I have seen advertised on TikTok and Instagram. I have snapped those up and I'm going to be testing them and giving you my honest thoughts. So if there's anything else that you want to see me test, it can literally be anything, let me know. The first thing that I'm going to test, and I'm going to insert a clip of me from the past testing this. This is the Miley Oh Sugar Sugar Wax Pen. It's for brows and for facial hair, and I had a few TikTok ads for this and I thought, you know what? I've got a hairy face. I want to try that. I also did ask on my Instagram and a few people mentioned this as well. So I bought it off the TikTok shop. It was $7.99. I think they had some kind of deal on. Honestly, like if you're looking for any deals on any brands, check if they're on TikTok shop first. Some of these things I ordered at like 4 p.m. and then the next day it was there at 9 a.m. Here is me testing the wax pen. Just ignore my hair for now. You'll see why it looks like this in a minute. So I'm going to insert some little close-ups just because sometimes this camera I feel like isn't as good as picking up on the close-ups as my phone is because I can't get the lens as close to my face. Normally I use one of those little eyebrow razors just on my top lip. Sometimes I do it all over my face, but most of the time I just kind of leave it and I literally just do my top lip and my eyebrows. I've left it a while just so I could test this. And I also might try the sides of my face, although I don't know if I'm gonna make the pen run out by doing that because I don't know if it's designed to do your whole face, but I don't know how well you can see in this before, but this is my top lip before. You know, is the camera even going to focus on it? Like around the sides of my face here. I've got a fair amount of peach fuzz. I feel like you can see, just getting real up close and personal. Yeah, you can see that. And then like round the sides of my face here, you see how I've got like a fair amount of peach fuzz. This side isn't as noticeable, it like lays flatter. It comes with 20 waxing strips and the sugar wax pen. Place the pen in a glass of hot water, tip down for a few minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, I've returned with my glass of hot water and I guess I leave this, it says a few minutes. How long is a few? Like 5, 3, 4? You do only get 5 grams of product in there, which makes me think that it's gonna run out pretty quickly. Especially if I'm gonna use this all over my whole face. I think I'd only get through 1 pen. So I guess that's one of the downsides. And it says that you should make sure the area is clean and dry. I've done that. Twist the base of the pen and apply the wax in the direction of hair growth. Place a strip over the wax, then pull in the opposite direction of your hair growth. I didn't use boiling water. I just used really, really hot water from the tap. So this is what it looks like. Okay, yeah, I can see it coming out, and then it comes out the end like this. You see that? And now, oh yeah, it's definitely warm. It's not hot, but it's definitely warm. Oh no, I need more. I feel like it's I've dropped it. This is so chaotic. I feel like it's drying already. So let's apply it in the direction of hair growth, which is down. And then you know what? I'm gonna put it back in the hot water and then put on my little strip. Make sure that's really on there. And now, oh, wait, it hasn't really worked. Actually, I can see it's pulled out a lot of the hairs, but there's still a fair few remaining. You know what, maybe I was a bit dramatic with my reaction. It didn't hurt that bad, it's just like a little bit stingy. Let me get a close-up cam on this. Can you see? There is still some little hairs there that it's missed. Obviously these bits it's missed from around here, but like in here, it's missed some of those little hairs. This time I'm gonna act quicker, so let's take more wax. Actually, let's just go with the other side. Let's get it all on there. Take a strip, whack it on there. I need to make sure it's like really pressed around the edges because I feel like I missed some. It's hard to actually pull it in the opposite direction because technically that is upwards because my hairs grow straight down here. But then because of the shape of the strip and the shape of my lip, unless I put like strips on this way, it's hard to like do it that way. I guess this time I'll try and go like that instead of that. Okay, you ready? I didn't pull quick enough. That's also missed loads. Okay, doing that didn't work. I need to pull this way. Okay. The thing is, right, I can definitely see that it's picked up hairs. Like there's definitely hairs in here, but there's definitely still hair on my lip. Like you can see it's taken some hairs there, but just not all of them. And it's definitely taken those ones from the root, but like I'd say it's maybe taken out 50%. I mean, I'm doing it right, aren't I? The wax is melty, I'm using the strips, I'm ripping it off quick. Maybe the hairs on my lip are a little bit too fine and they're not coarse enough to actually like stick in the wax. I don't know, has anybody else found this problem with waxing their upper lip? It looks like I've already used up half the product. Let's give it one more try, but there's no way I'm gonna have enough in there to do my whole face. So I think I'm just gonna have to dermaplane the rest and probably dermaplane over the top of this as well because yeah, there's still hairs there. You see what I mean? We have still got hair here. Wow, those are going to be some horrible close-ups of my face. I'm so sorry. But you know what? I want to test these things so that you don't have to. But if anybody else has tried this and you've succeeded, let me know. Let's try and put it more downwards like this. Again, it's got some but not all. I've also had this problem in the past when I've tried to wax my underarms, when I've tried to wax my legs. Maybe my hair is just really stubborn, but I never find that it gets all of it. Like, that's taken me probably about 15-20 minutes. Am I gonna get a rash now? Probably. If anybody does wax their face, can you let me know how long it lasts? Because normally I use one of these little eyebrow razors, just literally you can get them from anywhere, like Amazon, Superdrug. Because doing this takes me about 2 minutes, lasts me about 2, 3, 4 weeks. I don't think the wax pen is for me. I love Miley's other products. I use their gel nail stuff all the time, but the wax pen is not my cup of tea. The next thing that I have got to test is the Wavytalk thermal brush for super smoothing curls and volumizing hair. So many people have advertised this on TikTok, and you can buy it on the TikTok shop. You can also buy it on Amazon. I got mine on Amazon just because it was like guaranteed next day delivery, and they sell multiple versions. When this first came out, it didn't have like a heat control setting, I don't think. So I went for the like upgraded one that has the heat control system, and I'll put a few videos on the screen that I'd seen of people using this because they were very impressive. This was £38.99. I actually think I got it slightly discounted. Yeah, I got it for £36. So here is my review. So my starting point for testing this Wavytalk hairbrush is this. Basically what I did yesterday is I washed my hair, I let it air dry, I slept on it, and then this morning I just sprayed it with a little bit of, well, actually quite a lot of heat protectant. I sprayed heat protectant all over, let it dry, and then I have just given it a brush through because I need it to be smooth. You know, like you see videos of people getting those hot tools stuck in their hair. That's actually happened to my best friend Ellie before. And it was very funny, but also like, don't really want to fry my hair off. Oh, that's kind of handy. It comes with a couple of clips. Ceramic barrel, dual voltage, fast heating up, damage free? That's a load of shite. I don't believe that any hair tool is damage free because that is impossible. It does have a 1-year warranty. Yeah, it goes up to 215 degrees. There is no way you can do 215 degrees and it's not going to damage your hair. This product can burn eyes. Well, yeah, surely it can burn anything. Why just this product can burn eyes? Just the eyes, or? Oh, I appreciate that it comes with a little cable tidy. Sorry if you can hear background noise. James is building an IKEA unit in the room behind me, so I think it's got a 2-meter cable, which isn't too bad. And then this little screen lights up, so I'm just gonna press the on button. It's actually got a little live, I mean, it's pretty foggy looking, but it's got a little like live feed of how quickly it's heating up, which actually that's pretty quick. Whoa, that has heated up so quick. We are already on 180 degrees. Do I leave it on 180? Oh, the next step up is 200. Let's try with 180 and see how we go. Stunning. So I'm gonna start at the root. I feel like I'm probably gonna need to go over each section a couple times. Oh, all right, that was just one pass. That looks pretty good. I just need to try and get as close to the roots as I can because they're still frizzy. I'm just gonna slowly drag it down the hair. Oh, it's stuck. No, it's not. Okay, and then let's try and give it a little curly whirly. Oh. Okay, on 180, I wasn't expecting it to actually do a whole lot, but I think that works enough for me. Why did I start at the front? Normally I start at the back and then I can flick the pieces back. It does kind of drag a little bit on my hair, but then I guess I kind of need that for it to smooth it out. So I'm gonna just, okay, that piece only needed a couple of passes, and then the end. For this one, let's do the other way. Let's switch it up and just spin it round. Oh, look at that. Okay, actually, wait, no. I do want to do them all in a little curly whirly style. Give it a little... It's obviously going to be beneficial to pick smaller sections. Like the smaller section you have, the smoother it's probably going to be. Oh my god, it's all getting caught. This is probably painful to watch if you're a hairstylist. I'm so sorry. We still have a little bit of frizz, but it's mostly done a pretty good job, I would say. Although I do feel like the curls are already dropping out. I might use 180 all over, and then if the curls have dropped out, I might turn it up just to do the ends. I don't want to fry my whole hair off. You know what? I'm still pretty impressed with how smooth it has got my hair, considering it's only 180 degrees at the moment. Let's do a bit of that and then flick it back. Yeah, that's... Oh my, listen to this noise. Can you hear this? Why does it sound like an alien? You know what? Like, that's not half bad. I'm actually gonna tie that at the back loosely. Then we can work on this bit. Again, I'm starting at the back. Okay, I'm probably just gonna speed through this. These bits are being a bit more stubborn, I guess because there was maybe more frizz on the top. So I might actually turn it up. I mean, it's done the job at smoothing, but it's not like the curls aren't curling. Let's just hold it there for a little bit. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's working, but I've still got quite a lot of frizz up here. I'm just gonna I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna turn it up. Okay, wow, yeah, I can definitely tell that's just got significantly hotter. That feels like it's too hot. It does kind of drag a little bit through the hair, like it's not super smooth. It is if you hold it with both hands, but then the second I go to one hand, it's kind of like the motion is a little bit jerky. Then for my fringy bit, I'm gonna do the classic roll up, roll underneath. I usually go like this if I'm using my Dyson. Ow, it's really hot. Whoa, what has happened to my parting over here? I mean, yeah, it's definitely smoothed that out. So if I let down the rest of my hair, this side is more curled than this side. I'm just gonna give it a brush through because I need to see the level of frizz. It's not really giving me the volume, but then maybe that was my fault. But I feel like I get more volume when I style with my Dyson. Like for some reason, it just looks like I've got less hair. Compared to what I started with, I think it's done a pretty good job for what, 30 quid? Now that it's a little bit hotter, I'm just actually gonna go over everything and sort of like top it up and then just do a little bit more on that. That's doing some crazy things. Let's hold it there for a few seconds and then do the like unwrapping. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Okay, I'm not gonna do that because my hair just got stuck. On this side I find it easier to hold it upside down and do that, but then I can't do that on the other side unless I hold my hand over my head. Okay, that looks pretty cool. This side seems to, oh no. Ooh, maybe don't do that. Just gonna give my hair a little flip. And then, yeah, look, these front pieces are still frizzy. That's bugging me, but oh well. That is the finished hair. It doesn't feel as soft as when I use the air wrap, but obviously it's literally 10 times cheaper. And it's also not the same thing because it's not like a hairdryer. I'm pretty impressed. Like, it looks good, especially after I just flipped it upside down. Yeah, I've got some of that volume there. It looks good. Let's see how long it lasts throughout the video though, and throughout the day, because I'm curious. I am happy with it. I would definitely use that again. Just please make sure that you're using heat protectant. Just be careful you don't get it stuck in your hair. Like, don't wrap it too much like I did, because there was a few moments where I was like, oh. The next thing that I'm gonna test is the new e.l.f. Halo Glow Skin Tint. This and the Huda Beauty Lip Stains were the most requested things when I asked on Instagram what you guys wanted to see me test. e.l.f. Halo Glow Skin Tint, Mineral Broad Spectrum, SPF 50, is water resistant. It says 80 minutes. I went for the shade Light Neutral. I got this in Boots yesterday. I think it was £18. It was either 16 or £18, which is definitely like expensive for drugstore prices, especially for e.l.f. So I'm expecting good things of this. And hallelujah, it doesn't contain sorbitan, so I'm not allergic to it, which I was very happy about. But they had no testers out. I think they'd literally just put it out in Boots, so I just had to pick on a whim. I went for light for light neutral, and it says it's a serum like skin tint, light buildable coverage, non-nano zinc oxide mineral SPF with no white cast, lightweight hydrating formula, sinks in like your favorite skincare for a barely there feel. Shake well, apply it using your fingertips or the angled silicone sponge. Silicone sponge? Are we in 2014? I will use my fingers. So this is what the packaging looks like. Very cute. You get, I'm guessing 30ml. Yeah. Shake well and squeeze out 5 drops of tint, then apply using clean fingertips or a sponge. Okay. There's like a thing in it, like something heavy in there to help you shake it. And all I've actually done, I've not put on my regular SPF. I've literally just moisturised my face with a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury water cream stuff. Oh, is this going to be a bit good shade match? I don't know. It could potentially be a bit light compared to my tan. Oh, the texture feels lovely. Smells kind of like paint. I don't really have any SPFs that smell nice. I think this shade might be a bit light for my tan, you know? Damn it! Let's blend. Ooh. It feels a lot thicker than I was expecting. Oh, my poor moustache area. I know you're not supposed to put makeup over freshly waxed skin, but I'm taking one for the team today. Yeah, can you see? Like, it's actually quite a thick formula. I'm gonna put it on my eyelids just because I want to see if it stings them. Ooh. I think I probably could have gone with the next shade down for my tan. However, this one might actually be fine for me when I'm pale, which is interesting. I'm just going to see if it's buildable at all, because I've got a little spot down here and there as well. I think this would also go on fine with a brush, to be honest. I've just realised, should I have used a primer? I have a spot there that's kind of like a scar now, but there's a little bit of dry skin around it, and it's picked up on the dry patch a little bit. But in terms of the finish, it does feel a little bit like sticky tacky. I mean, obviously with any tinted moisturiser, unless it's one that claims to dry down matte, you're gonna get that. It looks really nice. My skin looks radiant. It's definitely got a slightly glowy finish, but it's not super oily and it feels quite hydrating. It looks so smooth. I will say though, it's thicker than I expected because it said put 5 drops on. I was expecting it to come out like a liquid, but it's definitely one that you have to like smooth over your face. It's like a thicker texture. And so for that reason, I can already see it starting to kind of like collect in the creases under my eyes. But that being said, I really like the finish on my skin. It looks really nice. And like on my forehead and everything, it looks so smooth. And around my nose, it's sitting really nicely. It doesn't seem to have gone weird around there. I am going to see how my makeup applies on top of it and see if it kind of like pills or anything. And I actually feel like the slight thickness of it will probably help. By the way, just a little tip, if I'm just going to be wearing a skin tint for the day, because sometimes I do literally just put on a skin tint and I don't powder, like if I'm just going out running errands, I would take any areas where there's build up of product and it's like creased, and I just take a fluffy brush like under my eyes and I just kind of wipe away the excess product, and then generally you don't get the creasing anymore. Let's see how the rest of my products apply. Wait, I've not done my concealer. Soph, what are you doing? You know what, considering it said it had like a light coverage or sheer coverage or something, it's got more coverage than I thought. I'm gonna use my Rare Beauty concealer. This is in 170W. I actually really don't feel like I need that much concealer. As always, I would love to know if anyone else has tried this and what your thoughts are, because obviously everyone has got different skin types, different preferences for stuff, and I always find it interesting to hear your feedback as well. So if anyone else has tried this, what do you think? Concealer has applied fine. It's not gone funny under my eyes. It's not pilling so far. Definitely gonna need some bronzer. It's funny though, because in the e.l.f. What's it called? Halo Glow filter thing, I wear the shade Fair 1 in that, and that's when I'm tanned. I kind of was a bit worried. I was like, oh my gosh, 4 neutral might be too dark. Another thing on the agenda, I'm so excited to try this. Please don't let me down. Charlotte Tilbury launched some Healthy Glow, their names cracked me up, the Unreal Blush Healthy Glow Stick. Darling. You know why? I ordered this literally on the day that it came out and I'd not seen anybody review it. I'd just seen like the swatches on the Charlotte Tilbury page. And I kind of wish now, since seeing other people use it, that I went for the peach shade. But I went for the shade Rosy Glow. So many claims. Light mapping mesh tech and hyaluronic acid collageneer. What the heck does that mean? But it says it's a lit from within soft focus glow, hydrating, smoothing, blurless effect, yada yada yada. I've got to say, as silly as some of the Charlotte Tilbury marketing is, and it does really crack me up how over dramatic it is, they have some lovely products. So this is what the packaging looks like. Actually, you know what? That shade does look like it's going to be a bit of me. Whoa! Holy crap. Okay, that fully melted onto my hand. A lot more pigmented than I thought. Take some on the brush. Oh my god, it is so pigmented. Like, actually maybe too pigmented. Is that a thing? You know what? No, I'm not going to complain about the pigment because it wasn't cheap. And the more pigmented it is, the longer it's going to last. Yeah, I'm just doing one swipe. And then just tapping that onto my face. Yee. Okay, I don't actually think there's any shimmer in it. I think it's just more of a dewy formula. You actually only need a small amount, which I wasn't expecting. Oh, now the sun comes out, huh? Okay, hopefully you can see a little bit better now. Can you see it's got a very sort of glassy finish? Can you see how my face is just like radiating? Radiating glow. Guys, I do actually really like that. However, I will say you can get a very similar finish to this with other drugstore blushes and other brands in general. I was kind of hoping that it was gonna have a little bit of shimmer in it, like Pinkgasm, how that's got some shimmer in it. And that is just absolutely stunning. I was kind of hoping this would be like Pinkgasm but in a tube. If it had that super fine shimmer in it, I genuinely think that this would be a game changer for me, and it would probably go up to one of my top blushes because the formula blended so nicely. You know what? I do like it. I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier Ultra Blur powder because I am going to test this throughout the day. You know what, guys? I'm just going to finish up the rest of my makeup and then I will come back because the last product that I've got to test is the Huda Beauty Lip Stain. Hang on one sec, just to show you, the Charlotte Tilbury blush is definitely still popping through the powder. Do I like it? Yeah. Do I think you need it? No. It does similar things to other blushes. Wow, what a transformation. Okay, I'm back. And the last thing that I'm going to test in a YouTube video, because I know that not everybody has got Instagram and TikTok, and annoyingly, my video review of these Huda Beauty lip stain liners is over 3 minutes, so I can't upload it as a short because YouTube Shorts only allows you to do 3 minutes. So we're doing it on the YouTube. On the YouTube? Okay, grandma. So Huda Beauty went viral with these lip contour stain pen things. I ordered 2 on the day that they came out off of the Sephora website, and I got 2 shades because I couldn't decide which one. And I have already done a wear test of these. You know what? In my original review, I didn't notice these have got 1 milliliter of product in them, which is really not a lot of product. I mean, compared to some other competitors, I think Wet n Wild have got one. I think there were a few other brands that had slightly less, but the majority of lip stain pens had more product. But I went for these shades Toasty Brown and Rosewood, and these are supposed to be a lip liner tint, so they're supposed to stain your lips, and they do say to store them upside down like this. This is my second time using them, so this time round I'm going to go in with Toasty Brown around the edges. I'm not going to use as much, and I've seen that Huda kind of blends them in, so I'm gonna try that today instead of going like full send with them. Cool, that looks nice. Let's do that and then give it a little, because in my initial review I was like, whoa, these are really dark, and they were darker than I expected. But you have to work quick because they dry very quickly. These are £22 each, so they're not cheap. And honestly, when people were commenting saying, so if there was only 1 ml of product, I was so annoyed at myself that I didn't check that beforehand. Okay, so I've just gone around the edges. You know what? That worked pretty well blending out. And I didn't have the problem that I did in my initial testing of when you kind of go over the same areas, it almost starts going a little bit patchy. So you want to try and avoid as much as you can going over the same areas, if that makes sense. I'm then going to take the shade Rosewood and I'm going to put this in the middle. And another problem that I had when I was testing these before, and I think this is also going to ring true now, is that, can you see, like, I've got a dry patch on my lip there. And with these being a stain, like, lip stains just sink in to any dry patches. Do I leave it at that? I think I might leave it at that. This has definitely worked better as an application. When I was first testing these, as I was applying them, they were drying out and I had to stop and like give them a shake, which is why they say to store them face down, which I had been doing anyway. Like, since they'd arrived the night before, I was storing them like this. But for 1 ml of product, I have to say though, compared to my initial review, I much prefer how this looks in terms of the color. So I would 100% do the blending out technique again. That worked better for me than just applying it straight up and then keep trying to go over the same spots. I would say if you have that trouble, and if maybe you find that the shades are too dark or they're going a bit patchy, try doing a little bit and then blending it in, because that has just worked so much better. There is no transfer there. I was almost expecting them to feel really dry and like drying, but they actually don't feel like much at all. Kind of just feels like my lips, but without any lip balm on, which I would always wear lip balm anyway because my lips feel dry without it. But they don't actually feel dry, and it's also not sticky at all. Like, you can see it's a very thin formula, which is nice. Like, the formula's nice and I like the colours, but it's just the fact that I can't get over that they're £22 for 1 ml of product. I'm gonna put on a touch of lip balm over the top, just because our lips do get dry. I think I will insert my initial wear test just so you can see how these held up the other day. I just had a very oily dinner. You can literally still see the oil on my lips, but a lot of the colour's still there. It has worn off from like the inside of my lips, which I think is to be expected. But I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting this much colour to still be there, so. James, can I test something? Pretty good. How do you actually get it off? That's the question. Micellar water. Okay, it's partly coming off, but it's still definitely stained. Like, I can still see bits after doing that. Overall, I would definitely use these again. I think next time probably just as a lip liner and feather it inwards so it's not quite as bold. But for £22, I don't know, I think to give my overall review, I'm gonna have to see how they last and if they like dry up quickly, because there was a few issues with application and it was a little bit patchy at times, but those are my pros and cons. And then for my wear test today, I'm actually about to go eat my lunch. I'm absolutely starving and I'm gonna see how they last through my lunch and through like drinking and stuff. So I've got to say, I like it more today than I did the first time I applied it. I think I just applied it better today, which is good. I want to check in on two things, the lips and the hair, because for my lunch, I feel like I went in with my food. I had some toasted bread that I dipped into tzatziki and I did end up getting that all over my lip. I had some mozzarella cheese. I had strawberries, which I spilt down my t-shirt. Although, Ellie brought me back some Tide pens from America and it literally completely got the stain out. My lips are still definitely there. The only place it has worn off around the middle. Like, can you see this? So we definitely do have some fading, but generally I think I'd be pretty happy and like good to go if I just added a bit more lip balm, because they do now feel a little bit dry. Like, they're starting to get a little bit wrinkly feeling. So let me just add some lip balm and there we go. So the lasting power of these is actually really good. They do have a nice range of colours and they go from light to really deep. These were some of the more like medium shades. Huda Beauty knows how to do a shade range, which is great. And yeah, they do have good lasting power, you know, like that has fully lasted through my food, and the other day it fully lasted through my dinner, and even now, like with my lip balm on this, I would be happy to wear my lips like this. It looks fine. And again, they still don't transfer. My main criticisms with them, it's a little bit awkward how you have to store them tip down. They seem to dry out quite quickly when you're using them on your lips, but I think the worst thing is that you get 1 ml of product for £22. I would expect more than that. Like, for that reason, I would not repurchase these, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend them. That's my honest thoughts on the Huda Beauty pens. Obviously, I have to give my honest feedback so that hopefully brands can see this and improve. And then the second update is on my hair. It's about 3-4 hours since I did my hair, and the ends are still kind of curled and they're still looking fine. I'm starting to get sort of bits of frizz around the top of my hair, but generally it's still looking pretty good. I do always have to brush my hair though when I'm filming content, so that kind of brushes out the curls because my hair just tangles and frizzes so easily. But with the brushing, the curls are still there. I just wish it looked a bit smoother. Like, do you see around these bits? And then I'll check back in at the end of the day for the skin tint, but so far so good. It's settling a little bit on my smile lines, but still looks really good everywhere else. Guys, it's literally 11 o'clock at night. Can you see that? 11:02 in the evening. I have had a busy day today in terms of filming. Ignore the fact that my mascara has smudged under my eye here. I was doing a little experiment with 2 different sides, which will be a short or a TikTok or something. I have not touched up my face with powder. I am so impressed. I really was not expecting this to last that long. I didn't even use a primer. I did use a setting spray, but I always use a setting spray these days, so regardless of like whatever I'm wearing, you know, the setting spray helps a little bit, but it will still potentially, you know, foundation still break up on me. I'm actually a bit shocked at how good this still looks. My forehead has barely moved, as in it doesn't even look oily really. The main parts that look oily around here, which is where I get it the most, and I will say it's not perfect. We've got some areas around here and like around my nose and stuff. Do you see like around my nose it looks a little bit sort of separated, a little bit dry. Hopefully you can see that. And it's definitely not looking perfect. My chin is starting to break up a little bit. Also, I changed my lip combo, so disregard that. But considering it's been quite warm today and I haven't added extra powder, I reckon I'd be able to just like blend in those smile lines. Add a little bit of extra powder. The main place is just like around the sides of my nose and a little bit on my smile lines, but the rest of everything looks so smooth. I'm so impressed. For a skin tint as well, I really like it. I will 100% be using that again. The final check-in on my hair. The ends are actually still curled, and I've brushed my hair maybe 5 times today because I've been doing a lot of filming. It's definitely lost some of the volume and it has gone a little bit more frizzy. Like these little bits at the top have gone a little bit frizzy, but you know, we've still got some movement. It's not gone completely flat. I'm still happy with how it looks. I just need to give it a little brush. Yeah, there we go. And I'm just going to quickly answer a question of the day. If you have any questions for me, can literally be about anything, leave them down below with the hashtag question of the day. Today's question comes from Supra Jasara Vanan 6500. How do you get your mascara looking more voluminous? I've tried way too many mascaras, most drugstore ones. My lashes still look more wispy than voluminous. I had to get the YSL Lash Clash, great mascara, and that's the only one that made my lashes look voluminous without a liner. I tried the Sky High and the Panorama, but I barely got the volume. Please help. It can be down to just your lashes and your lash type. However, something that I find really, really helps when I'm applying my mascara is, for example, if I have the wand like this, I will not just do that. I won't just comb through it. I will really make most of the effort to really wiggle the brush. Like, I will stick the brush at the root of my lashes, give it a really good wiggle, and then drag up through my lashes, and I will repeat that all the way around my eye. Instead of doing that and then immediately the bottom lashes, I will go into the other eye on the top lashes, do the exact same, really wiggle and like get loads of product in the root, and then drag up, continue wiggling. Once you've got the volume that you want, you can then comb through to kind of separate them. But then I will go back to this eye. In the meantime, my top lashes have had a little bit of time to dry. I'll do the same on my bottom lashes, wiggle, wiggle, drag down, wiggle, wiggle, drag down, and then back to this eye. And then I will go in with more layers. So it kind of gives each eye a bit of time to dry, because I'll do top lashes, bottom lashes, and leaving a little bit of time to dry, but not for it to fully dry in between layers definitely helps, especially if you've got quite a wet mascara formula. You need to wait for it to dry a little bit in between your coats. When I'm doing my mascara, I try to look down into a mirror, because if you're looking straight ahead in a mirror, you can't get to the very root without making a mess all over your eyelid. So if you look down into a mirror to do your mascara and really like take the brush here and wiggle and drag up, you're gonna get more volume at the very base, because you can see the base of your eye more, if that makes sense. Whereas if you're looking straight ahead, you're probably going to be more scared to get to the very root, because it's going to push your lashes and get dots of mascara all over here. Almost blink your eye into it so that you're applying a little bit of pressure. Wiggle, 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 and then you can drag up through to kind of separate them. And just doing, generally I'll do like 2 or 3 layers on each side. I hope that helps, but it can just be a bit of like trial and error, and it can just sometimes be different lashes and eye shapes and lash types and lash lengths and stuff, but I hope that helps. Right, I'm gonna go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these, let me know and subscribe, because I'm definitely gonna do another one, and I will see you guys in my next video.